No, I'm good. Good evening, everybody. It's good to see everyone. We have a quorum, and Mr. Taylor, see there on the screen, is over across the pond, and so I think it's about 11 o'clock his time, so thank you for joining in. So that's dedication right there, my friend. If I was over the pond, I would not be concerned, but thank you for going through those measures to join us tonight. Also, Dr. Tudor is not here as well, and so it almost feels like we can just do whatever we want to do, you know? So anyway, thank you for being here tonight. First on the agenda is our Pledge of Allegiance, and we've got Claire Harden and B. Story that's going to lead us in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great job, great job. Okay, first on our agenda tonight is our consent items up for adoption and approval. First, we have the minutes from our regular meeting on August the 18th. Then we have minutes from our called board meeting that was on September the 9th. You'll see our financial reports, our surplus and obsolete items, those being from the central office, Avoca High School, the middle school, and then the nutrition department there at Avoca. And then we have our audit contract for school activity funds, and that contract is with Brown and Edwards and Company. They do the audit for our student activity fund for the coming fiscal year, ending June 30, 2026. And then we have our fiscal agent, and Dr. Tudor is recommending board approval of David Atkinson, the interim chief financial officer, as the fiscal agent for Bristol, Tennessee schools effective immediately. Do I have a motion?
I so move.
A second?
I second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Penny?
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Chair Butcher?
Yes.
Ms. Henson?
Yes.
Chair Cuddy?
Yes.
Secretary Darnell?
Yes.
Now, we have a special recognition tonight, and we're excited for this. We are going to be recognizing our Teacher of the Year finalist, and so we're excited for Ms. Rutherford to be here tonight, and I believe we have a video, correct?
We do.
Okay.
Somebody back there care to hit play for me? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Allison Rutherford, the librarian at Fairmount Elementary, and when my students think back about their old librarian, Miss Rutherford, I hope that the unit of teaching they remember is our annual reading road trip. During Read Across America Week, I know that all eyes are going to be on the library, and I want it to be awesome. I wanted a way to build community and knowledge and reading culture all at the same time. The idea behind the unit is we will read our way across America. Each day of the unit, we travel and learn about a different state. We plan a dress-up day for kids who are into that sort of thing to match the state. As students arrive at school, they are greeted by teachers at our destination. Music is playing, photo props are set up. When they get to class, they watch a video I have created about the state. These videos include funny skits and facts about the state.
And don't forget about me! You haven't said a word about me!
Yes, oh, how could I forget? This is Penelope, everyone. Penelope works here in the Fairmount Library, and yes, Penelope always comes along for the road trip and makes appearances in all of our videos.
Did you tell them about the books? The books are the best part!
I won't forget about the books. I only have 5 minutes to tell them everything.
Well, then you better hurry.
Penelope, I'm trying.
Okay.
She's right. The books are a central part of the road trip. In their class, students hear a read-aloud story related to the state. These stories are recorded by students and the videos are posted so kids can watch and listen to their friends read. In my library classes, we spend an hour deepening our understanding about our different destinations. Each year, the reading road trip gets better as more ideas come to me. So this year, we extended our road trip from 1 week to 4 weeks. Now, we spend an entire week studying one state for the week with even more activities. I think you can probably sense my excitement for this project, but how does it engage students? First, our virtual field trips allow students who have never traveled outside of our hometown to visit places they've never seen or heard of. Beyond that, the activities appeal to students with many different learning styles and preferences. Everyone can be successful during the reading road trip. For kids who love science, an extreme weather lesson from Kansas. For kids who thrive when learning is hands-on, a walk across a giant Tennessee map. For kids who need to move, relays and games at our school-wide assemblies. Musical kids enjoyed an instrument petting zoo for Kentucky, and this year a STEM mini golf course for South Carolina that upper grade students built so lower grade kids could get to golf in our hallways. I am proud to say that 4 years in, this multifaceted unit has had a positive influence on our students. It has grown a sense of community in our school and even outside of our school walls. Upper grades and lower grades look forward to buddy reading together. We invite in guest readers from the community, and the public library partners with us too. It is all so much fun, and it increases reading engagement. This year, during the 4 weeks of our reading road trip, our students in grades K through 5 read a whopping 4,080 books. I am wholeheartedly invested in this unit because it embodies my beliefs and philosophy about teaching. We are improving literacy skills, building background knowledge, and enhancing regular classroom curriculum. And most importantly, we are fostering relationships with our students. I believe we have to meet students where they are. They don't tolerate boring. We have to capture their interest. I believe schools should be engaging. Let's keep them on their toes. If we want to improve attendance, we've got to be the place to be. This unit does all of that. I'll let you in on a little secret. This reading road trip is a lot of hard work. I prepare for months by doing my own research, editing videos, finding just the right books. This unit of study brings all of my core beliefs about teaching to life, wrapped into one creative journey. When I pour my heart and time and imagination into this work, I see it reflected in the spark of my students' excitement. Yes, it takes effort, but the joy and energy that fill our school during the reading road trip make it all worth it. It's more than a unit. It's a celebration of learning, creativity, and the incredible power of community.
Now I'll turn it over to Dr. Walk.
At this time, he would like for Ms. Allison Rutherford to come forward. And we would like to present her with a token of our thanks for you as Tennessee Teacher of the Year finalist for 25. Okay. And we might want to get a cut picture of my Hold those. And then I'll hold this.
Really?
I'm going to say a few things if that's okay.
Please do.
ever see that video and the people who watch that as part of the process. But thanks very much to Colin, because that video had to be 5 minutes long, and it always was like, I think we started at like 8 minutes long, and it took us hours to make it 5 minutes long. So thank you so much, Colin, for helping me with that. Do I need to speak into this, maybe?
Yes, please.
Okay. The Excellence in Education Awards ceremony a few weeks ago was a real treat, and I didn't make it beyond the finalist round, but I just wanted to say thank you to some people who I'm just really grateful for. The experience has really been awesome. I think a lot of times in teaching we don't stop and intentionally think about what we do, and it sort of forces you to do that a little bit. So I'm really thankful to the school board members who reached out to me throughout this and have been so supportive, so thank you. And also to all the administrators. Everyone believed in me more than I believed in myself, and I really appreciated that. Dr. Tudor and Dr. Walk and Miss Easterling drove all the way to Nashville to be with me at the awards dinner, and I was just so appreciative of them being there. Made me less nervous, so thank you very much. And Mr. Arrington, he has cheerleaded me and built me up since the very moment that this process started back in February, and I cannot thank you enough for that. And I thank all those people for seeing the things that I'm good at instead of all the things that I'm not good at, because there are plenty of those, so I appreciate that. I want to thank my family. I don't know that my mom and dad will see this, but I'm so thankful to them for being my first teachers, but also my first students, for the hours that I made them sit and play school with me. My dad never said no to a visit to B. Dalton Bookstore to buy a Babysitter's Club book, and it's what made me a reader. And my mom still buys me a book at the Fairmount Book Fair every year. So I'm so thankful to them. My family, they mean so much to me. As many educators in this building can relate. Kurt's picture should be next to mine in every yearbook, because I couldn't do this job without him, because he spends so much time helping me with all that I'm able to do, and he has been in my corner since I was in the Future Teachers of America Club at Tennessee High, and somehow that didn't run him off, and so I'm really thankful for that. And Brooks and Maya, I just am the luckiest to be their mom, and so I want to give them a shout out too. When I started in this career, I think I thought that every day had to be this big dog and pony show, and a song and a dance, and I still like to sing and dance a little bit, but I think I was sometimes missing the point, because I think, you know, I was a student in Bristol, Tennessee as well, and these are some of the things that I remember. So my kindergarten teacher, Miss Camper, had a loft in her classroom, and I thought it was the best thing ever to climb the steps and get to look at books. And in first grade, Miss Gibson loved me even when I wanted to be the first person to finish my reading packet, so I ripped pages off the back and threw them in the trash can and hoped she wouldn't notice. And she noticed, but she still loved me anyway. My second grade teacher read to us every single day after lunch on her stool, and she would dim the lights, and I remember every book. My third grade teacher introduced me to the boxcar children, and she wrote a comment on my third grade report card that she thought I was creative and that she couldn't wait to see what I would do. My fourth grade teacher, I thought she was the prettiest lady in the whole world. Jean Fuller, she would dress matched to whatever theme she was teaching. Miss Gross-Close, my fifth grade teacher, I think she created brain breaks before anybody even knew what they were. And then Dr. Bowen was my sixth grade teacher, and I just wanted to be her. She had a class mascot, and we got to take it home and write about it on the weekends. She had the prettiest handwriting I'd ever seen, and I would like sit at home and try to copy so I could write exactly like her. She knew that we loved the achy breaky heart, and so she taught us the line dance and let us do it for PTA for our parents, and we thought we were big stuff. And she really knew who we were. And I really think she's probably the reason that I wanted to do this job. And then in high school, Mr. Brownlee had a gift for taking kids from all different walks of life who had absolutely nothing in common and somehow making us into this quirky, close-knit family. And some of those teachers probably don't even remember some of those things that I said, but that's what I remember. And so every day I'm realizing more and more it's not the dog and pony show, but I'm just standing on the shoulders of each of them and trying to pass forward just like an ounce of what they gave to me. And I'm so grateful to all of them, but also to my current colleagues who find ways big and small to motivate the kids in our building, and to the other librarians in our district who are always on my team, and to teachers across this district who just seem to work together so well to motivate Bristol kids. And I didn't know this when I was a student, but I'm willing to bet that every one of those people that I named went home some days and felt like they didn't do enough, or they weren't enough, or that it was all just too much. Because what I'm learning is that teaching is holding hard things and beautiful things at the exact same time. And that's what makes the work challenging, but it's also what makes it deeply rewarding. And I think it's what forms this like beautiful community of educators who know the weight of this work that we do, but they also know the joy of it. And the joy is the students. And so the last people that I want to thank are all those students at Fairmount who sent me off with a Dolly Parton themed pep rally kind of thing on the day before this award ceremony. And I was a big surprise. And if you know me, you know it was like a really fun day for me. And I just hope that those students remember some of the big things that we do together, but more than anything, I hope that they remember one of the small things, and maybe it helps them feel loved and seen, and helps them remember that we are all connected to each other. So thank you. This work is, I like to say, this work is like under my skin, and over the years, some of you in this room know that I've tried to quit it, and I just can't seem to do it because I think it's just part of who I am. And I'm learning to hold those hard and beautiful things at the same time. So thank you to all of you who have supported me through this so much. I'm sorry I couldn't bring it home for us, but I'm just really thankful for the opportunity.
Ms. Rutherford, really enjoyed that video. You characterize yourself as an old librarian? Well, if there's ever been a new age media specialist, you certainly are one, but that's really neat. I didn't realize you were a ventriloquist. Pretty awesome.
I will help on those.
Oh.
Normally in class, she's me.
Okay.
But that was Rebecca helped on that little part of the project.
Right. Do you recall your first teaching job in Bristol?
I do.
What did you teach?
I was 6th grade at Haynesville, and I taught science and social studies.
Right. I've got a little story. I've told it many times, but I'm going to tell it again. I don't know what year that was. Back in the whats?
2006.
Somewhere like in there? Okay, I was still teaching, and my wife at that time was a real estate broker, and part of the things that they had to do as realtors in town were to go to various schools and, to, observe, just, say nice things, and also be able to tell clients and so forth, this is what we've got to offer and so forth. And my wife got to go to Haynesville, and she came home that night, and she said, I'm blown away. I said, what are you talking about? She said, well, there's this teacher at Haynesville. Her name was Allison Rutherford. I said, well, I know her. She said, well, I'll tell you what. I've seen a lot of teachers. I was one for myself for a while till I escaped. And she said, I do believe that Miss Rutherford could teach in the dark in a dungeon and still captivate her kids. She's that good. So proud that you're a part of us, and thank you for being all that you are, and you cannot escape. I'll tell you that. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm sure we can get Miss Becky a copy of this video so Becky and her husband can see this. I think we're going to start calling you two the dynamic duo, Kurt and Allison. That's a pretty dynamic team right there. Tell you, Allison, you've got me ready to run through a wall. I'm not going to lie. Thank you so much for all you're doing and the way that you motivate our students and how you pour into their lives. Next on the agenda is hearing of our delegates, and tonight we have Haynesfield Elementary, and so I'll turn it over to Principal Tanika Harden.
It's really going to be hard to follow Allison's. Allison, those words were very beautiful, and I'm not still some of them when I'm, giving a motivational speech.
Yes.
So, of course, thank you for having us and giving us a space for Haynesville to share. And I'm really just going to let the video do all of the talking. I do want to thank Mr. Dyson for putting that together. He is our resident producer, videographer, all of the things.
So if I ask you to list the positive attributes of a hurricane, what would you say?
Strength and perseverance. So in the center of a hurricane is the eye of the storm, where it's peaceful and calm. So maybe as a staff we can be peaceful and calm.
We want our students to be like the eye of the storm, so they can have the calm even when there might be chaos going on around them.
Strength, excitement.
A hurricane changes the path that it goes, and we want our little hurricanes to be change makers in this world for good.
Find ways to be a force for good in our school, in our community, just finding a way to serve other people and love other people.
As hurricanes, we want to be strong and bold.
The growth, the way the hurricane builds and gets stronger together.
Haynesfield Hurricanes have perseverance. Whether they're learning new words or challenging chapter books, everyone at Haynesfield has perseverance to reach their goals.
We should have excitement and urgency for learning, and that should grow as the year goes on.
Focused energy on improving academic achievement
by encouraging new growth. Sense of urgency.
Punctuality.
Powerful. So to be a Haynesfield Hurricane, you have to be all-encompassing. That means no one's left behind. We're all in this together. We all stick together as a team and build each other up and move forward together.
When I think about the positive attributes of a hurricane, I see something that's powerful, something that's unstoppable, it's expansive, and it's impactful. And those are the same things that we desire for our students here at Haynesfield. We look for them to grow up and chase their dreams, achieve their goals, and be powerful parts of society. There are some conditions that a hurricane has to have in order to grow. One of those conditions that's critical for a hurricane to form is warmth. And we hope that our students feel that warmth through the love and compassion of our staff, from the administration all the way down to our support staff. It's critical that they feel that warmth, that they feel the ability to push themselves, to strive without the fear of failure, and knowing we're going to be right there to support them and pick them up along the way. Another condition that's so important for that hurricane to form and to grow is open water. And here at Haynesfield, we want our students to have opportunities to stretch their legs, to try new things, and to challenge themselves. Because without those opportunities, they're never going to make that growth that they want to see, that we want to see, that their parents want to see. In studying up for this video, one thing I learned was that a hurricane needs a cluster of storms to help it get going. And that's one thing you'll see here at Haynesfield, is that these students are challenging and pushing one another. They're growing each other socially, they're growing each other academically. So like a bunch of storms moving through the building, these storms are slowly helping one another build into that hurricane that we hope they become and want to see them become as they move on through our grade levels here at Haynesfield. One final thing that was an important condition for these hurricanes to grow was steady directional wind. These students, they need expectations and goals and a focus on what they are trying to achieve. And as we bring high expectations for them academically, that we want them to strive to achieve excellence. We also want them to grow, and we use those goals in their social realm as well, with our Canes Code of being courteous, being aware, being neighborly, being engaged, and serving. And with that focus, with those high expectations and those clear goals, we're going to continue to see these students grow. And again, to become powerful, to become unstoppable, expansive, and impactful throughout their lives. So the last question I pose to you, are you ready to join the storm?
Hashtag there, we're definitely going to start using it tomorrow when I send this video out on the s'more. But join the storm, I thought that was pretty fantastic. And how we do want, we think of a hurricane as negative, and we're coming up on an anniversary that some of us felt really hard. We think of all the negatives, but in our instance, we want to think about the positive. Like, what could we say about a hurricane that we can apply to our kiddos? And I want them to go out and be a force, right? I want that for my personal children, and I want that for the children that we serve each and every day, is to go out and be a force. So, join the storm if you like, along with us.
Thank you. Okay. Next on the agenda is comments from the public. Do we have anybody signed up tonight? Okay, thank you, Ann. Next is old business. First policy on old business. Dr. Tudor is recommending board approval of the following policies on second reading. You'll see grading systems there and separation practices for tenured teachers. Do I have a motion?
I'll move we accept the motion.
A second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Penny?
Secretary Darnell,
Yes.
Chair Cuddy,
Yes.
Ms. Henson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Butcher,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Next is our new business. First on new business, Dr. Tudor is recommending board approval of the fiscal year 2026 Lottery for Education. This is our after-school programs LEAPS application. Do I have a motion?
Also move.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Penny?
Vice Chair Butcher,
Yes.
Chair Cuddy,
Yes.
Ms. Henson,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Secretary Darnell.
Yes.
Next, Dr. Tudor is recommending board approval of the state special education preschool grant application for fiscal year 2026. Do I have a motion?
I move that we accept this grant.
A second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Penny?
Ms. Henson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Butcher,
Yes.
Secretary Darnell,
Yes.
Chair Cuddy,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Next, Dr. Tudor is recommending board approval of a request from Community Tektronix to submit the Stone Castle Stadium renovation design to the Tennessee School Boards Association for the 25 School of the Year for Excellence in Architectural Design in the renovation category. Do you have a motion?
I move that we accept that submission request.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I'd like to say it'd be the second time, if we can win this, that we have won in the city of Bristol for TSBA's excellence in architectural. Tennessee Middle School won, and of course we have a good relationship with Community Tektronix, and they did a great job on the castle. So got a lot of things going. When we sometimes, well, we're always, Dr. Tu would say, we're going to be on or under budget. We're going to be on time, but most importantly, we do good work. And the work is done really good, and it has to last a long time. I think I should say, like Haynesville, 100 years you're celebrating this year? So it's got to last a long time.
Anybody else? Penny?
Chair Cuddy,
Yes.
Vice Chair Butcher,
Yes.
Secretary Darnell,
Yes.
Ms. Henson,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Next is our resolution on the Melrose Street property. I'll go ahead and read that Bristol, Tennessee Board of Education resolution accepting the transfer of ownership of real property located at 511 through 515 Melrose Street, Bristol, Tennessee, from the City of Bristol to Bristol, Tennessee City Schools. Whereas Bristol, Tennessee City Council has adopted resolution number 25-86, which declares the property located at 511-515 Melrose Street, Bristol, Tennessee 37620 as surplus to the needs of the city, and whereas said resolution number 25-86 authorizes the transfer of property to Bristol, Tennessee City Schools at no cost, contingent upon the property's continued use for school-related purposes, and whereas the City of Bristol has stipulated that any deed or transfer instrument shall include a provision that if the property ceases to be used for school purposes, ownership shall revert to the City of Bristol, and whereas the Board of Education has reviewed the city's offer and has determined that the acquisition of the property is in the best interest of Bristol, Tennessee City Schools and the students it serves. And whereas the Board of Education desires to formally accept the city's offer in accordance with the terms and conditions set forth in City of Bristol Resolution number 25-86 and will assume ownership and all maintenance and operational obligations related to the property. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Bristol, Tennessee Board of Education that the offer from the City of Bristol, Tennessee to transfer ownership of the property located at 511-515 Melrose Street is hereby accepted. Be it further resolved that the Director of Schools is hereby authorized and directed to take all necessary actions to complete the transfer of the property, including the execution, acknowledgement, and delivery of any and all documents, deeds, or agreements as may be necessary or appropriate to effect such transfer, subject to the review and approval of legal counsel. Do I have a motion?
I so move.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I was the person who asked motion to delay, and that was made, we had some very wonderful, I think, comments from public comments, and some questions that certainly I needed answering. And it came down to, for me, it came down to a matter of, was water, could we make sure the water situation was taken care of, any health issues that we might have with any, might be mold or things like that, and then parking availability, and then lastly, I guess, how it really fit into our long-range plan. How would this really help us meet our goals? The only person that I really trust in telling me everything I need to know about this is Kurt Rutherford. And so we task him with really coming up, doing everything. I'm proud that we took time, and I'm thankful to the city that they allowed us to take the time that we needed to thoroughly discuss and not make any kind of rash decisions, particularly about how in the world is this going to fit into our long-range plan. A gift is not always a good gift. It needs to be something that's serviceable and something that really you get benefit from. So I'm very thankful again to the city that they extended this time for doing this due diligence. And I can't think of anybody, I know there is no one else in Bristol that I trust more than Kurt about what needs to be done with building and reconstruction and not just putting lipstick on a pig, but really making that a real porker. So I appreciated that opportunity. That might not have been, I don't know. Okay, you get my point.
Any other discussion?
I would just like to say thank you for the diligence that you put into assessing that and looking for other things, and just the time that you put into making a plan that's going to be a great plan for all of our sports teams and for our schools. So thank you very much. I also want to say that sometimes the best laid plans don't always work, and so we found that out, and we had to go back and punt, and this wasn't what I wanted to see happen actually in the beginning. But after listening at work session, and like Eric has said before, our work sessions, we don't take them lightly. There's a lot of discussion, a lot of comments from people on the board, but also from administrators and And we've had a lot of input from coaches and different people. So I think, we have a long-range plan, and that's what we needed to do.
Yeah, and I'll say, I was a staunch no from the very beginning on Melrose, for a lot of reasons, a lot of reasons that most of the people in this room know, so I don't need to rehash that. I've always been a visual learner. I'm not very good about just being told, well, here's what we can do, this is what it might be. I need to see it. I need to see the vision. And Kurt came Thursday night at our work session, presented the vision for what that could be, and not only what that could be, but what can happen over the next 4 to 5 years within our district, not only pertaining to sports, but other areas with our school buildings. And so I needed to see that. I needed to hear that. And just like I'll second coach, and there's nobody that I trust more with doing that than Kurt Rutherford. And so it was just a matter of being able to see the vision, see the plan, and knowing that we were doing the very best for our students. And so I'm thankful that we've gotten to this point, that we have the plan, we're ready to move forward, and we can get back to really doing what we do best, which is educating. And so I'm thankful that we're to that point. Charlie, anything?
No, I'm good. I agree with everything that was said.
Okay. All right, Penny?
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Chair Cuddy?
Yes.
Vice Chair Butcher?
Yes.
Ms. Henson?
Yes.
Secretary Darnell?
Yes.
Next on the agenda is Dr. Tudor is recommending board approval of the following policies on first reading. This is policy 1.806, advertising and distribution of materials in the school system. And the only thing that we updated there in the red, including the use of school system as defined above in such advertisements or publications. And this really just stems to some of our private supporters who are helping us in our supporting our athletes, our sports, and seeing commercials that are only used during our on the scoreboard at the high school, and also during the YouTube video of the live sports that we do. And so we wanted to make sure that we had that updated. Do I have a motion for that? I'm backwards. I've already done a motion in a second.
No, sir. We
Okay,
do not have
sorry.
a motion yet.
Do I have a motion?
I move that we accept this policy on first reading.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Penny?
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Secretary Darnell?
Yes.
Vice Chair Butcher?
Yes.
Ms. Henson?
Yes.
Chair Cuddy?
Yes. Sorry about that. So this is usually the place where Dr. Tudor would do her report. She is not here. And then also, this is also the place where we'd also hear from our city council partner. But Ray did let me know that she would be out of town for tonight. So I just didn't want y'all thinking that we were booting city council. Any comments from the board?
Yeah.
Please.
I believe I hope everybody knows that we have the 2025 Director of Schools Superintendent of the Year in the state of Tennessee. I mean, she tried her best to keep this from us. She really did. She didn't want it to get out. Unfortunately, Ms. Darnell had some contacts at the meeting that said, hey, did you know? So we're so thrilled. I mean, look at this. We got the Superintendent of the Year. We've got finalists for Teacher of the Year. Is there any better place to be? I don't think so than Bristol, Tennessee City and Bristol, Tennessee City Schools. And I sure hope that Chamber of Commerce, the city, and so forth takes this opportunity to pump up and get out there. What better advertisement to come be a part of us than the fact that your school system is exemplary, huh? So it is great. So congratulations, Dr. Tudor. We'll find some way to get after her, though. We will.
We'll surprise her.
We'll bring her down to earth.
She's not going to like what we've got in mind, but she'll get over it. Anybody else?
Charlie, how's the weather across the pond?
You know, it's nice and then it's rainy and then it's nice again. So it's just give it 5 minutes and it'll change.
Very good. Well, hey, listen, buddy. I hope you all have a safe flight here in a couple of days back home.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And the school year has started off great. I've heard nothing but positives. Thankful to Haynesfield. I'm very loyal to Haynesfield. This is mine and my wife's 16th year in a row having a child at Haynesfield. So I feel like I've got some ownership there. But anyway, thank you, everybody. Next board meeting is October the 20th at 6 p.m. We'll see you then. We're dismissed.